Gather around. It's time for the show to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, this is...
Hey everyone, my name is Jason.
Hi friends, it's Desiree Josen.
All right, there were so many matches this year that were just too much.
So this won't be a shocker because we've had a handful of really awesome matches that we just can't stop talking about.
How many times have these guys fought? It's been quite a bit.
I've been saying this all year. They're just so great to watch. We saw the heel turn coming, and then when it happened, nice and bloody, both dramatic and beautiful.
You are now entering the ring with Chutes and Ladders podcast. Here are your hosts, Desiree and Jason.
Chutes and Ladders, WWE 2025 End of the Year Awards. What's going on, everyone? My name is Jason.
Hi friends, it's Desiree Josen.
All right, 2025 is officially in the books. We are handing out awards for 2025. We're going to talk best moments, matches, the promos, the crowds, and performers that define this year. Des, what are your initial thoughts?
I love these kind of episodes. You know, it just wraps up the entire year, all of our favorite things. And I know we have a lot of similar answers, but I feel like we're going to have some different answers too.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, we have not seen each other's list, but let's kick things off with Best Tag Team of 2025. Des, who controlled the tag division this year?
Okay, so I went back and forth. I want to say for every answer, I have at least two or three, but I have settled on Charlotte and Alexa.
Oh, good choice.
Yeah, I was originally going to go with Street Profits, and then I took it back just because I love this duo. I feel like it's exactly what the women's division needed for the tag team. They brought so much fun and light to it, and it made me like Charlotte, because when Charlotte came back, we really didn't start off on the best foot, and then with bringing in Alexa, it really made us love her again. So, yeah, I'm going with those two.
That's an amazing choice. Admittedly, I didn't necessarily consider them, but I should have, and that's actually on me. I actually have a close second, just missed it, just because they're so entertaining, and that's Motor City Machine Guns. I love them. I genuinely love them as a tag team. I hope they ascend this year. I got to be honest, I think this year the matches of the tag team were just off the charts. The mixed tags, the ladders, and like just everything. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. But because of how long they held the titles and just overall impact, I'm going to go with the Wyatts.
Okay.
Yeah. and just because, listen, it's interesting because they could have put the titles on so many different guys, just so many different, tag teams. Obviously, you mentioned the Street Profits, and they obviously won at one point in time. DIY was awesome. So was Motor City Machine Guns. But I think when they gave it to the Wyatts, I just thought that sent like a strong message. I love stables, and I just think they really kind of elevated this year.
Right. I really think it elevated the Wyatt Six with that too. Gave them a little bit of oomph behind that.
Absolutely. But just like you said, this was tough because I went back and forth. There's so many different ways you can go. There's really no bad answer.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to go ahead and pick Breakthrough Athlete of the Year. This was interesting. I'm curious to hear what you have to say. Who's basically the future of WWE?
Okay. Again, I went back and forth, but I figured it was just from a very strong start of the year and consistency. I'm going with Braun Breaker. We got that doggonness. But I just figured he was just such a powerhouse starting out from Rumble, his title win, joining the Vision. It's pretty obvious that there is going to be a major push, especially next year, knowing that he's got this big title match with Punk for the Netflix anniversary. So that kind of tells you where they're going at with him. So I'm going with Braun Breaker.
Very, very good choice. The only reason why I didn't pick him is because I thought that he broke through last year. Yeah. So I didn't know if this year counted, but listen, it does count. That's an awesome choice. All right. I'm going to go with one of the hottest superstars right now, Dragunov.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, and I say that because I just think, I mean, the sky's the limit for him. We talk about how the newer talent that's being infused, you have to be super athletic, and this man is super athletic. I don't think he's had a bad match this year, and I just think he really obviously put a stamp on who he is. Obviously, winning the title, I know he dropped it recently, but I think the future is bright for him, and I just like what he brings to the table.
Yeah, he's super technical. I like him. The crowd really loves him. He does have a bright future, but I love his sportsmanship too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great gimmick. And you know what? Listen, the fact that he's Russian, I'm just obviously, generally speaking, WWE isn't too kind to Russian wrestlers. They're going the exact opposite way, which I think is a smart decision.
Yeah.
All right. Best female return of 2025. To me, this is pretty obvious, but let's hear your pick.
Alrighty, so we may not have the same answer on this one just because we've had a handful of really great returns, a lot more than I expected for this year. So I'm going based off of consistency and crowd response, and that is Alexa. I really like her. Her return at Rumble was huge. She's been in every major PLE. She's done a lot with the tag division, and she made us fall in love with Charlotte too. So it was like I feel like she is by far the favorite, and I think the best overall return for this year.
Listen, I did not expect that, but you have your reasoning was sound. So that is an awesome choice. I thought this was obvious because I thought this was the loudest pop of the entire year. I'm going AJ Lee.
Yeah. I knew you were going to go there.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, that was one of the coolest pops I've ever heard. When someone gets out of wrestling for that long period of time and comes back seamless, and the crowd just erupted, I just thought that was too much. I mean, that was genuinely one of the loudest pops. I think it may have been the loudest pops of the entire year. So yeah, AJ Lee, I love her as a wrestler.
I agree, and I think she had one of the biggest pops this year. And what I love was CM Punk's response of being such a proud husband standing in that ring when she came out. I love that.
Okay, gotcha. Listen, I'm going to go ad-lib. Since we did best female return, you know what? I'm curious. Do you have a best male return of 2025?
Who has returned besides John Cena? John Cena's year. That's the only one I can really think of.
That's fine. You can pick him.
Come back to me.
Sounds good. Okay. I will say, just because, you know what? I don't really like him, but I think what they're doing with him is interesting, and I think they're actually going to give him a push. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to say Austin Theory.
Oh, I love Austin Theory. I love the idea of him trying to join the Vision and all of that.
And I think it's because he does have talent. So I think if Paul Heyman could be his mouthpiece, then I think that, the future is bright. So, you know what? I'm going to say him. I was thinking about Rusev because I thought that was really cool when he got that pop. But you know what? I like what they're doing with Austin Theory.
Could I consider or say AJ Styles, even though he returned? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Listen, it was ad-lib, so go, and you didn't have time to think about it. So whoever you want to go for it, go for it.
No, those are the only two that pop in my head.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. This is an ad-lib, so now we're going to pick best crowd of 2025. There are a lot of strong options. Des, which crowd was the rowdiest this year?
Yeah, we had some really good crowds. But I always favor the international crowds because they appreciate them traveling and they don't get to see it as often. So I went back and forth with Paris and Perth. But I think I'm going to go with Perth. I just feel like Australia doesn't get as much as the attention as Europe does with these kind of tours, and with as big as Rhea is and Grayson Waller and Bronson Reed, all of them, I feel like them in Perth was really, really big. So they're always electric.
Great choice. I I genuinely love the Australian crowds. I love the people there. I think, whenever they go to Australia, they really are so appreciative because they don't necessarily get as many shows. So that's a great choice. Obviously, international in general, they usually get a little crazier because they realize how rare it is. I am actually going to go, and I've said this before, this particular city, whenever wrestling comes, I mean, some of the most memorable moments I've ever seen have been in this city. I'm going to Windy City. I'm going Chicago.
Yeah.
Because again, I just mentioned it when AJ Lee came out. That was one of the loudest pops I've ever heard. I've mentioned many times. Money in the Bank 2011 was one of the best PLEs of all time, and the crowd was non-stop. Chicago, you are a phenomenal crowd. So for this particular year, I'm going Chicago.
And we should also point out New York City and Boston. Them too.
Yeah. They're wonderful too. I mean, and Philly gets rowdy too. I mean, there's so many choices to go to, but I just thought when something feels loud on TV and you're not even there, that says something. And I was hearing them in my television set.
Mm-hmm. That was a good one. I didn't even think about that one.
No, it's I mean, listen, Chicago fans are just wonderful. So, okay. Speaking of Chicago, maybe. Who was the best feud of 2025?
Okay, well, I think you already mentioned it, and it's just because it's so much fun. I love them. I can't get enough of them. A lot of people kind of are bored with it. I can't. I just think it's so funny. Seth Rollins and CM Punk.
Yup, that's mine. That's why I mentioned Chicago.
It's just nonstop. They're like a bunch of boys just picking at each other. They can't stop. They're having such a damn good time with it. And I just love Seth's pettiness. Just bringing in Becky. He's bringing in Paul Heyman. Just the whole, let me steal your belt. And, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily have to say too much more, but when CM Punk originally first came out in Chicago, Seth Rollins threw a fit. I mean, obviously that could have been scripted. It almost looked like it wasn't, which I thought was even more impressive. They had the promo where he said, "Listen, why'd you get into my business?" CM Punk apologized and said, "Well, since it was you, I guess I shouldn't be that sorry." And I just thought that set things off. And this was 2 years ago. So the fact that they're still going, they obviously opened up this year in the Netflix special, which was one of the best matches I've ever seen.
Yeah.
If Seth Rollins is healthy, I think they main event Mania, which would be awesome. But, I mean, look, this is one of the most fun rivalries. What's funny, too, is, listen, Seth Rollins is a huge Bears fan. Mm-hmm. And CM Punk is obviously just Mr. Chicago, so that's why I mentioned Chicago at the top. But it's just funny, these two Midwest guys that just, don't get along. And it just makes for great television. But they're both phenomenal wrestlers. And they're both great on the mic. I mean, this is by far... I mean, this is one of the... I think this is a feud we'll talk about for a long time.
Yeah, and I hope it kind of goes on for a little bit longer. They just... it's just getting better and better. I can't get enough of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, now we're moving on to Best Promo of 2025. I wonder if this is obvious to you. It's definitely obvious to me.
Okay, when you threw this at me before we started recording, I was like, this is not on our list, but I already have one just because we've talked about it before. We may or may not have the same one, but I'm going with John Cena's pipe bomb.
Oh, 1,000,000%. That's the only one.
All right, just making sure. That was so much fun. It was just like that. The first 3 seconds, I was like, what is this? Is this what I think it is? And then we all just fell in love with it. That's a reason why John Cena is who he is. He is the GOAT. He is so good with promos, so good on the mic. And when he just went after Punk and just did that pipe, perfection.
1,000,000%. The fact that the way they structured it was perfect, with R-Truth being involved again, the tables, like everything about that was perfect. The only difference was instead of going up the ramp, he just stood in the ring, but everything about it was too great.
One thing I did notice was he named a couple of guys that weren't in the business, and those are the people that he ended up wrestling during his tournament.
Oh,
you remember when he was like, hey, Dolph, hey, Zack Ryder, and he named off a couple more people, and I was like, oh, those are the people he ended up wrestling.
Oh, my gosh. Listen, this is this will go down as one of my favorite promos of all time. Listen, I said this many, many times. I think The Rock, John Cena's promos against each other during their feud was some of the best I've ever seen. But as far as John Cena's greatest promos of all time, this is definitely up there because it was executed perfectly.
Whoever thought of that, genius.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. Yeah, especially in his final year. So, yeah. Okay, we're getting down to it. We kind of talked about this before, but there were so many options. What was the best match of 2025?
I sound so redundant if you watch our past episodes. It's going to be the women's triple threat from Mania.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, what shocks me is a lot of people rank that a lot lower, and they say other matches were better. I get it, but these three kept us on our toes from start to finish. It showed exactly who they are and why they are where they are. Just the ending, the execution of it all, the emotions, the friendship between all of them, even though there was a little bit of a rivalry and Io got her belt. It was just pure magic. I would say it again, this should have main evented. It will forever be like a 5-star. I would say if you are new to wrestling or if you want to get into women's wrestling at all, watch it.
Yeah, it's the greatest women's wrestling match of all time, in my humble opinion. So that speaks volumes of how special it was. When Io won the title, that shocked a lot of people. Thankfully, the writers made that choice to get all three of them in the main event. That is genuinely the greatest women's match of all time. I mean, we speak at this at length. I mean, all three of them were stellar. I mean, it's a match that they'll talk about for years. Yeah, that was by far the best match. But listen, there were a lot of good choices. Obviously, Rollins, CM Punk, the men's triple threat at Mania 41, AJ Styles versus John Cena versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. There's a lot, but yeah. I do think that significantly the women's three-way was the best.
Yeah.
All right. Almost done. All right, so now who's your female athlete of 2025?
This one is tough, just because
tough. There's so many options.
I went back and forth, and I went with Io.
So did I.
Oh, okay. Just because I feel like she's had such a stellar year. Not only being part of the best or one of the best women's matches of all time, but even of the year. She was part of WrestleMania, but she was also part of really awesome matches that other people ranked as number one, is like the other triple threat match for WrestlePalooza. I just love her style. She's become like wrestling sweetheart. When you see her in person, she is so excited. When I saw her live at SmackDown, she was the only one that would yell at the crowd, "Thank you for being here. I'm so happy to be here." That makes you love her. She's having such a great time. I love her relationship with Rhea. It's just so comforting, and she is just truly a talent, and I feel like she's completely elevated herself. So I feel like she's just going to become better and better.
Yeah, 100%. You could actually make the argument that she was the breakthrough this year, obviously, though she's been a while, but like this year's just a completely new side of you, I want to say. I mean, her winning the title was just such a great choice. It shocked everybody, especially beating a favorite like Rhea Ripley. But thankfully they made that choice. And yeah, she's had so many good matches. And again, the awards best female athlete. I mean, this girl is crazy athletic with the flips and some of the stuff that she does in the ring. So to me, this is a tough choice because there's a lot of females that we could have chosen. But I think this year for 2025, I think Io is the right choice.
Yeah, genius of the sky is exactly what she is, the genius of 2025.
Absolutely. Okay. Last award, who's the male athlete of 2025?
I don't know. Now, this one I really struggled with. But you know what? I'm just going to say it's just because it's his year. And it's not John Cena. I'm not going with him. I'm going with CM Punk.
Whoa! Okay, and you know what? He was my close second.
No, seriously. Like, I felt like John Cena is he's to the side just because we know this is his year. This is going to be a different kind of year. I was thinking Seth Rollins just because I love what he's done, but with his injuries and other things, I feel like Punk has done a lot. He's had multiple feuds with everybody. He's won the title. He's cut a lot of really good promos, him and AJ Lee. It's just been super consistent with him all year round, and he kind of made me a fan of his because when he returned, I was like, ugh, he's back, here we go. And now I'm like, I kind of enjoy watching him on TV, so I'm going with Punk.
Listen, when I say he was a close second, like if this was a football game, my final score would be 35-33. Yeah. And that close, but I have to do it. John Cena is my male actor of the year. And listen, here's the thing. I know you said you're not necessarily the biggest Cena fan, but one thing I will say is that all eyes are on him. I mean, he got Nick Saban on College Game Day to do the "You Can't See Me." So if we're talking in terms of just what he's brought to the industry, I mean, obviously his retirement tour, and I don't know if you saw this, the Eagles-Commanders game, Cooper DeJean did hit the five-knuckle shuffle, and he straight up said, he goes, listen, I grew up watching John Cena, so I had to do it because I knew he was retiring. So we're at the point where, even if you're not a wrestling fan, in the zeitgeist, everyone's heard of Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Ric Flair, and John Cena. So at this point in time, like, you know, it's his last year. I just felt right about it. But look, if John Cena didn't wrestle this year, I'm going CM Punk because of everything you just said, him win the title again. But yeah, I have to go with Cena.
I get it, 100%. I sat there and I was like, should I just say Cena? But I figured you would, so I went the other route. But you know what? I am not discounting anything that Cena has done. He is a pop culture icon. He is not just a wrestling icon, and I commend everything that he's done to sacrifice his body and time, and he did a fantastic job this year.
1,000,000%. All right, and then what are your final thoughts of 2025 of WWE?
I think we had a really damn good year. I loved it. And what's really funny is a lot of things that I went back to rewatch, I was like, oh my God, that happened in January and February. That felt like eons ago, but it was so good. And, you know, the fact that I had to sit there and fight with multiple categories of saying who was the best, that tells you something. So I really hope 2026 is even better.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, with Triple H at the helm and, you know, you have a lot of just up-and-coming superstars, I think we're going to see some of these NXT guys getting pumped in. So I think the future is bright. But, yeah, 2025 was definitely a special year, and I loved it. All right, that actually wraps up this episode. What are your thoughts? Who are your 2025 winners of WWE? Please shoot us a DM at the Shoots and Ladders. Like always, please like, share, and subscribe both on YouTube and Spotify. Once again, my name is Jason.
I'm Desiree Josen.
All right, until next time, have a blessed day and a blessed week.
Have a great week. Bye, friends.
This has been Shoots and Ladders. Follow us for more content.